Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
That's what I'm talking about. All of today's guests, including Ross Tucker, standing by, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort, located oceanside in beautiful Parksville. The Bayside is one of Vancouver Island's premier getaway spots. Looking for a winter getaway? Stay at the Bayside in December or January and get 25% off your nightly room rate by mentioning Donnie and Dolly. Book your island getaway today at BaysideOceanfrontResort.com or call 250-248-8333 as we bring in from the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, CBS Sports, and Westwood One, Ross Tucker. How are you, sir?
Awesome. How are you guys doing?
Very well, very well. Just recovering from watching the national title game last night. It wasn't great. 65-7 for Georgia over TCU. Let's focus on Stetson Bennett, 25 years old. Is he going to play in the NFL one day, Ross?
I think he will. I think he should. Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting because he was a walk-on, because he didn't play for a while. I think on some level, because his name is Stetson Bennett, there's like this perception out there that he's not an NFL player. I don't know. I think he's always played well. I mean, he moves very well. He's got a good arm. He's accurate. People are like, oh, they got such a good team around him. Yeah, because like Bryce Young at Alabama and C.J. Stroud at Ohio State, they got a bunch of chumps around those two guys. What are you talking about? All of these guys have great players around them. I think Stetson Bennett is criminally underrated. And I think that he's got a great chance to be an NFL player for probably a pretty long time. People say, oh, he's 25 years old. Quarterbacks play till their late 30s now. Mm-hmm. What are you worried about? Are you worried about whether or not he's playing in year 13? If he's playing in year 13, you missed the point. He had a great career already.
What happened to the age of, and I think you tweeted something out like this, Ross, of players who play quarterback, excel at the college level, that enter the NFL as a slot back, as a receiver?
Well, that's possible. I don't know that that'll be the case with Stetson Bennett. I don't know that he's quite that explosive, but that's still a possibility. I mean, we've seen that happen with a number of guys that are just that good of an athlete that they can play quarterback in college, but then they just don't throw it quite well enough to be able to play quarterback in the NFL, but they obviously know route combinations. Yeah. They know coverages really well. And if they're super quick and can catch and have that athleticism, absolutely they can play slot receiver.
Detroit Lions had, in terms of getting into the playoffs, nothing to play for on Sunday, but they end up helping Seattle and beating the Packers in Green Bay. What does that say about the job Dan Campbell is doing in Detroit?
Awesome job. Awesome. It's a shame that they didn't make the playoffs too, by the way, because it just feels like they would have been fun if the Lions were in the playoffs for sure. I think people would have been kind of rooting for them to have some success in the postseason, the way they had played the second half of the year. But Dan Campbell, it feels like, has effectively changed the culture in Detroit with the Lions organization. He has absolutely changed the perception of the Lions. That is hard to do. I mean, that is ingrained over like decades, but they need to take the next step next year, right? It can't be like, hey, we had a winning season and we beat the Packers in the last game. No. The time is now for the Lions. They need to be aggressive to upgrade the roster to be able to take this thing to the next level and try to make a run at this thing the next couple of years.
Ross, Jerry Jones called the Washington loss a nightmare. Dak Prescott, 128 yards passing. I don't even want to look ahead to see if they lose to Tampa Bay and the heat on him in Dallas. How do you see that one matching up, the Cowboys and Tampa Bay?
I think it's pretty even, which I would not have said a couple weeks ago, right? Like a couple weeks ago, I would have said, oh, the Cowboys will blow them out. They're much better. And the Cowboys still are the better team. They're still favored. I think they should be. But I was talking about this on my Even Money betting podcast today. I kind of like the Bucs getting the 3 points. I mean, I kind of feel like this is a toss-up game. I think it comes down again. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to like overtime. So if you're going to give me 3 points in a toss-up game, kind of feel like I got a good chance to win with the Bucks. And if they lose, they probably lose by a field goal and you push. So I think it's going to be an awesome game. I think it's going to be real bad in Dallas if they lose this game.
Oh, big time.
To have the year they had and then not even win a playoff game again, bad.
Aaron Rodgers, his future, what do you see? What would you do if you were him?
Rick, we've had such a good season.
Yeah, and
it's really disappointing.
No stupid questions, right up to the end.
It feels like we've come a long way. You just asked a guy in his garage in central Pennsylvania whether or not I would play football next year for $60 million. Yeah, Rick.
Yes. Okay.
What would I do if I were him?
Yeah.
I would play.
I
would
know.
play for $60 million.
But a lot of people are saying
so would you.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying he's done and he's not going to go. You know, they can trade him. They can. That's what I meant. Like, what do you see happening? Do you see him in Green Bay next year?
Yeah, that's not what you meant. I mean, it's a decent attempt at a save here.
Yeah.
But you're actually making things worse. It's better if you just be like, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right. That was a stupid question. Now you're trying to put, like, skirt around it. Rick. You're having a terrible segment. That's okay. I am a professional, okay?
Yeah.
I will pick up where you left off.
Okay.
Now, in all sincerity, everybody knows I love Rick. I always get one email. You're really mean to my guy, Rick. Rick and I are boys.
That's right.
Messing around, okay?
That's right.
Don't send me that email. Just know that Rick and I are boys. No, Rodgers. Okay, there's a couple different things at play here, right?
Yep.
Rodgers is guaranteed $60 million. He's not retiring, okay?
Right.
Not only does he want the money, but he doesn't want his last game to be losing at home to the Lions to miss the playoffs. Plus, I think with these young receivers like Watson and Dobbs, I think he probably thinks they can be pretty good next year. So Rodgers is coming back, okay? The Packers can't cut him. It's too cost prohibitive. They really can't even trade him. I mean, they can, but if Rodgers tells the other team, yeah, I'm not playing there, they're not going to pay him $60 million for a guy that doesn't want to be there. So Rodgers holds all the cards here. You can't cut him and give him $60 million. That's actually, Rick, to your question, that's actually what Rodgers would love.
Yeah.
$60 million to just go do whatever it is that Rodgers does in the offseason, not happening.
Okay, Seattle, this part of the world, Seattle at San Francisco, Ross, who would you rather have at this point in a playoff game at quarterback, Brock Purdy or Geno Smith?
Can you imagine, Donnie, week one asking me that question?
I know.
That is unbelievable. I mean, that is sports right there. That is just wild.
Is that a better question than Rick's?
So much better. I think it's a good question
all I need.
because it's like giving me some pause. The idea of what would I do if I could get $60 million to play football for 5 months? Let me ponder that one, Rick. No, Donnie, you typically ask good questions.
Hey.
You had a bad episode a couple weeks ago. I can't remember what happened. You had a bad one.
Yeah.
But you've only had like one bad one in your whole career. Rick was on a good stretch of asking good questions and kind of staying out of the firing line. It's okay. It kind of makes me this brings back good memories, Rick.
Yeah.
For you to ask a guy that loves and lives and breathes football if he would play $60 million for next year.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
I read a lot of stuff on the weekend, Ross, about his future. That's why I asked.
Garbage. That's a good point that you made that up. It's all garbage. Okay, like him with his arm around Randall Cobb.
Yeah, that's it.
Like
Good shot. Good shot.
Would be shocked. You know what we're going to be doing next year at this time? We're going to have our 4th annual. What will Aaron Rodgers do this offseason?
Yes.
It'll be very. I'm already excited, and we'll probably have Jim Harbaugh in there and Sean McVay, and we can just do this every year for the rest of our lives till we all die. Just every year, is Jim Harbaugh going to stay at Michigan? Is he going to go to the NFL? Sean McVay, I don't know. Then next year, even if Sean McVay takes this year off, next year it'll be, does he want to come back? I don't know. It is nauseating, okay?
Okay, how about Purdy and Smith?
Who?
Brock Purdy and Geno Smith.
Yeah,
Hey,
I don't know
original
where we
question.
got left off.
Hey, hold it a second.
Rick's
Ross.
got you rattled.
No,
I'm
Ross.
going to go Geno Smith. He had a really good year, 70% completion percentage, broke the Seahawks record, but he hasn't been playing his best as of late, and Brock Purdy's good. Like, Brock Purdy's legitimately a good player.
Okay, we had several emails over the past few days, people saying, I used my front page story because of Ross Tucker's recommendation, and you wanted to talk some more about my front page story.
I
This is
even
over the
got
holidays.
a text. Ryan, well, you know what? What happened, by the way? I've been doing some funny stuff this segment. I haven't heard Ryan laugh yet. That's my highlight of the whole show, is when Ryan laughs when I make fun of Rick in the background. I can't turn the volume up on Ryan's giggling, please.
He's actually
Turn the
doing
volume
something
up
right
on
now.
the Ryan giggling. At any rate, listen, I got a code for you guys. I asked the bosses of the company, which is kind of me, if we could get a code, Vancouver 10. So myfrontpagestory.com, you get 10% off what's already the greatest Valentine's Day gift of all time. Don't be a Rick. Be a Donnie. Myfrontpagestory.com. Use the code Vancouver 10. Best Valentine's Day gift. You guys have Valentine's Day up there, right?
Yeah, we do. Yes.
Yeah,
See?
we
I
do.
knew it. Myfrontpagestory.com.
Okay. We'll ask you about Rodgers and
Hey, Ross,
Lovie Smith next
hold
week.
it a second. When you Google Aaron Rodgers future, 500
Okay,
things
would you
pop
let it
up.
go here?
Look at this. Is Aaron Rodgers a part of the Packers' future? Go Google it. There's a ton of stories that pop
I think
up.
he's got
You know
other
the
things to
beauty of
do.
that is,
It's a
Rick?
legit question, Ross.
You just admitted on your own show that you only read headlines. You don't actually read the words and sentences
Go
below
Google
them
it.
that
There's a
explain the
ton of
situation.
speculation about his future, Ross.
Rick,
Anyway.
get on the phone and find out who's playing next game for the Vancouver Giants, because I need to know which 16-year-old to bet on for the Giants, because Bublé's going to be there.
No. The big question is Bo Horvat. Is he getting traded, Ross? That's the big story in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, right there.
I think they should trade him.
There you go. Okay. You're not alone. You're not alone. That was very good. Ross, next week, thanks so much. Fun as always.
All right, see you, dudes.